year after year for the past 5 to 10 years here with the Minnesota Twins? Absolutely. We can start laying those building blocks back in place and make sure that next year and the year after that we're moving forward and we're not crappy like we are this year, okay? So that is Balls Deep thought of the day, is what exactly? Like, don't just say it can be done, okay? You need to offer solutions. You need to offer options. And so that's what I'm going to do here real quick for you, Twins fans. And hopefully Twins organization, hopefully the GM who needs to be fired is listening, hopefully Molly, who I think really is just a face, and that's it. Like, I don't think he has any actual, like, authority or power or decision-making or control or significant input on anything that's going on here whatsoever. I really don't. I think he's just the face, the puppet. So before we get too far, we're going to cross that right off the list. It's not because we like Molly as a person, even though we do. I don't genuinely see how it's Molitor's fault, any of this year. So we're nothing there with the coaching staff, okay? We've got to start higher up than that, all right? This team, as many of us here in Minnesota said from before the season started, it doesn't make sense on paper. Why are you re-signing Plouffe to play third base? Why are you moving Sano out into right field? Why is your only significant free agent acquisition, who has worked out great, by the way, but why is he a DH who can maybe play first base when you've already got 2-3 guys that can play first base and DH? Why do you trade someone who can start on your team, give you quality starts? He's not a stud, but he can give you quality starts when he's playing good, and he has played good in the past for you. Why do you trade a starter, someone who's good enough to start on your team, for someone who's not good enough to start on someone else's team? Going back to the Hicks-Murphy trade. Why do you not address anything on this pitching staff coming out of this offseason? It was just, nope, every arm we've got, that's what we're rocking with, and it's just a big clusterfuck of mediocrity, pardon my French. But you can tell it's getting to me. As a Twins baseball fan here in Minnesota, it's getting to me. It's getting to all of us. So what can be done? Well, fact of the matter is, ownership, management, coaching, none of that's going to change. Whether it should or not, which it should, none of it's going to change, okay? So let's be realistic. Well, this is baseball, all right? Trades are made throughout the entire season in baseball. People are called up and called down from the minors. It's not like other sports like that where you're kind of locked in with your season guys and whatever. Like, no, it's not like that. A guy can come in and just pick up the signals and go play baseball. It doesn't need to be a scheme fit like in the NFL, or something like that. So how about you get off your lazy butts, front office, and make some trades? I don't care what it's for. I don't care if it's for veterans that can come in and maybe help make us better now and help teach some of our young guys, that we were counting on, like Rosario and Buxton and Barrios and, all these other people, Myers, whatever names you want to throw in. Trade away Plouffe for starters. Trade away Nolasco for starters. Trade away Perkins or Jepson for starters. Trade away Malone or Mays or someone, not Duffy, not Santana. You kind of got to hold on to Duffy and Santana, I think. And Hughes, you're kind of cuffed to as well, which stinks. But why can't you make some trades? Like, it's baseball. People trade all the time. Make some freaking trades for whatever. And if you got to trade Plouffe and Nolasco for some prospects and some sort of utility player type of guy that can play multiple positions and it's just a mediocre do-it-all type of veteran, that's fine. Do it, okay? Hold the players accountable. Get these freaking contracts off our hands so that at least at some point in time in the next 1 to 7 years of all these crappy deals that you signed players to, that there's a light at the end of the tunnel for us fans, okay? But to close out the show here, I offer you yet one more suggestion, if that's not enough. If you just, we still believe in our pieces, and we couldn't find the right deals, and whatever excuses you want to throw out, then all right, then here is my alternative Minnesota Twins to close Ball's Deep Thought of the day. You want to turn the ship around and at least start getting your ducks in a row for next season and the seasons to come after that. Here's what you got to do, if nothing else. Pick a freaking identity and stick with it. That's it. Would you make a choice? Would you just sit down at least and make a concrete, firm, no matter what, this is set in stone choice on this is who we are and this is what we're doing? Okay? We cannot have this. Buxton starts the season out here, and he's our starting center fielder, and we got Rosario in left, and we got Sano in right. And other than Sano, we've got a great defensive outfield. And before that, we had Hicks, and we had the best defensive outfield in ages, possibly, maybe ever before that trade. And and then we changed our identity, and then we got this Kepler kid, and he can come in and keep the defense, and none of them are working out. And now we're using our failed shortstop from a year or two ago to start in center field so that we could send Buxton back down. And we sent Kepler down. And we sent Rosario down. And we're moving people around to positions again. Now, finally, Sano's getting a day here and there at third base, not having to play right field. Now, Park's finally getting a chance every once in a while on first base and not just having to DH. Now, instead of having Duffy down in the minors, who we thought was one of our locked-in young studs at the beginning of the year, we called him up from the minors. And we called Barrios up from the minors, but then we sent him back down to the minors, even though, he was going to be one of our guys now. And we can't, some people are hurt, so we just, we can only do so much. You got to call people up and send people down. And here's what you need to do, okay? Are you going to run with and go through the growing pains that have to come along with developing this young talent? Or are you just going to flip-flop? I have never seen a major league team flip-flop on who they are, what they're trying to do, what players they're even using at what positions on a day-to-day basis. I've never seen it in over 30 years of being not always a diehard, but a big-time baseball fan for over 30 years. I've never seen a team flip-flop in the first 40 games as much, within their own identity as the Minnesota Twins have this year. So I'm begging and pleading you, Twins, general management, front office execs, just from here, the season's gone, okay? We're not competing this year. So can we just sit down and say, okay, this is what we need to improve and work on for the future. This is where our stocks are invested. This is what our chips are, these are the hands that we're invested into, okay? We have got to do whatever it takes to improve these pieces, okay? And then build around them. Let's move Sano back to third. He's supposed to be our franchise building block. You don't relocate building blocks, especially to places they've never ever been before, okay? So we need to sit down and we go, no, this is who we are, this is who we're going to be. Whatever lumps we take, but by the end of it, there is going to be improvement and we're going to be back on the right track. Whatever you decide that to be, whether that's the whole youth movement, whether that's just a few pieces of the youth movement and maybe making some veteran trades, things like that, whatever it is, I don't care, okay? But you need to just figure that out, decide who you are and what you're going to be, and stick with it no matter what. All right. that's it for this week. Thanks as always for tuning in. Whether it's on YouTube, SoundCloud, or my personal favorite, the free Spreaker app. Make sure to connect with me on social media. On Facebook, search Scotty Ball. On Twitter, our handle is @BDST Show. I definitely plan on not taking any more weeks off anytime in the near future unless life just, demands it. But I think things should open up here for the podcast within the next 2 weeks where we won't have to worry about that anymore. But in the meantime, like I said, make sure to visit VikingsDigitalDiaries.com and scroll through all of the amazing interviews that I've been able to have over the past several months with former Vikings, former Gophers, and current Minnesota Vikings. All right, well, that's it for me. Have a safe and happy weekend. And until next time, I'm Scotty Ball, and I'm out of here. Peace.